Oh, I should have done that. I'll just leave a mess.
It's live! Oh, my God.
Are we going?
We're live. I hit the button and then just forgot this was happening. Okay, so I forgot to, okay. I'm going to be honest with you, fangirls and fanboys. I forgot to write an intro.
What happened to winging it, Corey?
I was real proud of myself. Listen, you guys, we've got a lot of... Come on, all right, here we go. Hey, fangirls and fanboys, we've got an awesome show for you today. We've got lots of sweet trailers that we can talk about. We got some movie news. We've got some awesome food news because Ecto Cooler is making a reappearance in our lives. And also, we're going to be tasting the tasty treats of New Zealand this evening. So you get to see whether we survive or we puke. So with that said,
could go either way.
Shall we Fancave?
Let's Fancave.
Let's Fancave. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, Corrigan.
How's your life?
It's good. It's really good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was, pretty chill. We watched the Macy's parade.
Nice.
There was a small crew. It wasn't like a big family gathering, Did what's become an annual tradition now is our friends, the Fuentai, and I basically Facebook live book the Macy's parade. So we just snark about the whole thing the entire time, which is delightful, and ate good food. And, it was chill. So I felt great about it. How about yours?
It was great. Yeah, same. It was pretty chill. So my mom the turkey's always done at least an hour before my mom thinks or plans everything else to be done.
Every year. That seems to be common. Maybe ovens are better now than they once were, and we all think it's 1950.
Every year this happens. Yeah. So I don't know why we can't figure this out. Anyway, so it's always really fun though, because as soon as it's done, then it's organized chaos. There's 4 people too many that actually fit in my parents' kitchen, but everyone's jiving and we're passing stuff and and it's everyone knows what they're doing, but there's just a lot of us there at that time. So it's always one of my favorite parts. Sitting down and eating is nice, but I love that the 15 minutes before we eat of total madness of
It's hilarious.
I'm I'm coming in hot, and I'm pulling biscuits out of the oven, and my aunt's ducking and making gravy, and anyway.
Wow. You have a good optimistic view on that, because that drives me crazy, because that happens with us too. Our turkey was done, and then it was whoa, the vegetables and stuff aren't even in the oven, and so then we're all getting everything done in chaos, and I'm it smells like turkey, and I just want to eat turkey. I don't want to not be eating turkey and cutting up Brussels sprouts right now, and it stresses me out. So I just need to borrow some of your outlook on that chaos.
It's fun. It's like a dance.
It is. It is.
And my mom's always it's so chaotic. I'm it's not chaos. I'm we all know what we're doing. It's not we're running around like chickens with our head cut off. Everyone has a job. There's just a lot of us in a small space.
Yeah, this is true. So. You have a fairly good sized kitchen too, though, so that helps as well.
Yeah,
when you're in a really small space, you're
It's true. If we had any smaller of a kitchen, it wouldn't work. But
yeah,
it only kind of works with the amount of people we stuff into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
it would make for a good time-lapse video, I bet, though.
It probably would, actually. We should do that next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the dishes, because then I really love doing the dishes, which is weird. So me and my sister-in-law and my cousins always do the dishes, and it always just devolves into a dance party, or evolves, depending on how you want to look at it. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, well, if you could make a game of it, then I suppose all is well with the world. But the nice thing too, yeah, exactly. The nice thing too is that now it's we're in Christmas season, which I love. Once Thanksgiving is over, I love all the holidays. Basically, Halloween to New Year's is my favorite time of year. I love all of it. But now it's super Christmassy. So this weekend we went to Universal Studios in Hollywood because our earliest adopter of the Fancave, Miss Melanie Raye, came all the way from New Zealand. And when someone has been listening to you babble loyally for 2 years and they come from a foreign country to see you, you go to Universal Studios.
It's
clearly. And so Mel came and we had a swell day at the park, managed to, like, she had this checklist of like which rides she wanted to go on and everything.
She's very organized.
Super organized. And we managed to do everything except Transformers, which was sad. We stood in line for that for like 20 minutes or so. And they put away the cotton candy that I was looking forward to getting while standing in line. And then it broke. So
rude. Well, it's funny because that guy came up and was like, "Hey, I brought you more cotton candy," and like, but he was saying it as a joke because they were locking up, and we're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it was really sad.
Okay,
but
we got a pretzel instead.
Yeah, we got a pretzel. We did the mummy ride. Like, everything was great. We had an awesome backlot tour, and it was a delightful day. So, thank you, Mel, for coming out and doing that, and for also bringing us all kinds of New Zealand
treats,
treasures. Yeah. So we will definitely be looking. People are already responding on Instagram to the food treasures. But we will, after we discuss pop culture things, we'll be trying all kinds of stuff like this Marmite.
I'm nervous, but it's okay. I watched the video of Hugh Jackman showing Jimmy Fallon how to eat this. So I feel super prepared.
Good. I'm glad. I'm less prepared. I think I'm most excited to eat.
Uh-oh. Core.
What?
Are you there?
Hey, I think I'm back.
Yep, there you are.
Okay, good. I don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden froze. It was weird. Yeah, I'm most excited about the Shrewsbury cookies.
I'm excited about those too. I'm also excited about the cheese and bacon shapes, which is funny because they're not shapes; they're just square. It's kind of
that is a little bit of a misnomer. They're called shapes, but they're just squares.
They're just square. I mean, I guess that's a shape, but I was thinking more of like when you get like mac and cheese shapes, it's like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to trying it. It's from the makers of Tim Tams. So I'm excited about that. We'll do that a little later and hopefully have some fun. So we should, with no further ado then, my computer is just like updating things randomly and stuff right now too. So I apologize if I just like disappear.
It's okay. I can carry a one-sided conversation.
Yeah. Hey, can I just point out something I read today that that is weird?
Yeah, please.
So, I'm looking at Facebook trending topics as I do, this is how I figure out things that we talk about and stuff like that. What's going on the interwebs? What are all the kids talking about? And today it was, the babyname.com or whatever, babycenter.com released their...
I love these lists every year. I get so excited.
They're ridiculous. And so babycenter.com released their list of like the trendiest names and the like top 10 most popular names and all that kind of stuff. So these are like different lists. So like the top 10 most popular are the ones that actually there's the most names of, which I can vouch for because like the guy name is Jackson and like 90% of people I know's kids' names are Jackson. And so, things like that. But the trendy one is not necessarily the top names, but the ones that all of a sudden are getting like a surge. And so the past few years we've seen like Game of Thrones names. Like last year, like every kid was named Khaleesi, and stuff like that. And like you get like the novel names like Katniss and stuff you sort of expect.
Also, real quick, because you said novel names, I read the list and they're like, oh, novel names that were inspired by a novel. And they're like Katniss and like obviously, and they're like John, like John Green.
Yeah, like John Green.
Or John, because that's a normal person's name. You can't attribute that to John Green unless
that could really be named after anyone.
They were like, oh, I really love The Fault in Our Stars, so I named my kid John. There's a couple of them that were like that. I was like,
yeah.
I don't know about that. Like,
some of them were a little bit of a stretch, that's for sure. But like, ones that weren't really a stretch, people are clearly naming their children after Instagram filters.
That's just
like
ridiculous.
3/4 of the Instagram filters all of a sudden saw like a huge uptick in kids name this. They're talking like Reyes, Amaro, Valencia, it's like Sierra, like.
So some of them, but similar though. Some of those were already names. So like my friends.
Well, I think like all of them are names.
But like I'm saying,
is
I
the
guess,
thing
but I don't know how we attribute that to being Instagram. That's what some of this list. I was like, okay, Hudson is already a popular name,
but see, they're not counting. They're counting how much it's gone up, not
right. I understand that, but I don't think you can. They're just speculating that it's because of Instagram. Sure.
But it was
Hudson was already a popular name, so just because it went up 4% doesn't mean it's because it was on Instagram. I don't know. But so some of and Willow, it's like there's people that are famous named Willow, or maybe their parents just really liked the movie Willow. I don't know. So some of these, it's like not super scientific. I would give them. Sure. I give them definitely some of these like. I don't know.
Like Amaro.
I don't know if that was a name before. Like some of these, I'm like, okay, I'll probably give that to you.
On SVU, but yeah, that's like, and it shows too that like a bunch of these had this bump from filters that were introduced in 2014. Mm-hmm. So I think that's that's pretty good evidence to the fact that people are like, oh, that's interesting. The thing that I want to know though is like, I'm wondering, if a husband or a wife or whatever. So these names like recommended them to their partner without saying like, oh, I saw it on Instagram. From. Yeah. They're like, you know what name I really like right now? Amaro.
Or some of it too, I wonder, even if they don't even realize it was, it's like one of those things where you just kept reading it and you're like, oh, what a baby name. Oh, what about Amaro? Or you hear it somewhere and you're like, that's a pretty name. And then later you're like, oh crap.
Like, I named after an Instagram filter. Gosh darn it. Yeah. I don't know. Although I feel like like with Instagram, you use it enough, you probably know exactly where you got it from. But I don't know. Maybe it is a subconscious thing.
I mean, when I was reading some of those up, I definitely didn't remember Amaro was one.
Oh, I use that one all the time.
Like, who the hell uses Kelvin? It makes your pictures like super weird color. I thought that was a weird one.
But it didn't say that they named them because it was their favorite filter.
True. But I'm saying more of like, or Kelvin. I was like, okay.
Kelvin.
I don't know, maybe they're scientists naming their kids. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Ludwig was funny because Ludwig is my boss's last name.
Oh, hey.
So it's like, that one always just makes me laugh. I'm like, and actually use that filter kind of a lot too, which I'm like, oh God. But it's like, kind of makes them like, just doesn't add like a whole lot of color to it. Just makes them a little brighter sometimes.
Maybe that's a subconscious thing. Like maybe you use that filter
because I know someone named that. Oh God, I hope not. It's lame.
Mm-hmm. That's a possibility. Emily just says, baby list. Yes, indeed. Her baby does not have a name that shows up on that list. There's no Ruby filter.
That's true. My cousin's son was on the list, but it wasn't one of the Instagram ones. It was just one of the like other names that was.
What was the name?
Colt had an uptick. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe a lot of Supernatural fans are having babies.
Yeah. I mean,
although
that wouldn't be his reasoning, but
yeah. The other thing I've noticed though is those kind of like cowboyish names have gotten popular. It's like Colt or like Wyatt. There's like a lot of kids named Wyatt and things like that. Like real Wild West sounding names or things. So I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I thought that was
to name our kid. We need a friend to name their kid Virgil.
These are my kids, Wyatt and Virgil.
And Morgan.
And Morgan.
Oh my gosh. That would be amazing.
Feels like a bad omen.
Maybe.
But yeah, so I just had to talk about that because I saw that today and I was like, what? I mean, it's funny, these things, the way they come in waves too, because I remember when I was a kid really liking names, like when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, like if I ever had a kid, even though I was vehemently opposed to having them, I was like, I like the name Aiden or Addison or like things like that. And now that those are popular, I'm like, why is it that in our heads, like we all get on that zeitgeist, I'm sure someone's written research on that.
Maybe. I do, but names is fun. I remember when my roommate, when we were in college, her mom got pregnant, which was hilarious because obviously it wasn't even the oldest one. So we were 20, I think. It was our junior year. Yeah, sure. So we were 20. She has 2 older sisters. Nice. And then like 2 younger siblings. Like her youngest brother was like 11 or 12 or something. Anyway, it was hilarious. And then her mom gets pregnant. We're like, oh, can we help name the baby? And they all had names. We spent hours like going through and actually ended up
that's the only reason I want a kid is to name it.
Right? I feel like how fun is that?
Right. I've always had names for them, even though I don't like them. So you know, that's a big thing. I would love to name somebody's kid. If you have a kid that needs a name, you guys, I got ideas.
We got great ideas.
So many ideas to offer.
You should really let the fan cave name your baby, is what we're saying.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Incredible. I would love it so much.
If anyone wants to,
it won't be weird. We won't name your kid like Facebook. We'll name it like an actual good.
Or Corrigan.
Well, okay. But you know, we're gonna say I'm not gonna name it like Table. We'd come up with a cool name. Trust me. I think you should trust us. Honestly, this is like my plea out there, pregnant people listening to the podcast. Please let us name your child.
Let us name your baby.
We would. I'm pretty sure we'd be good at it.
You're gonna have the coolest kid on the planet. Just saying. Just saying.
I mean, I don't want to tell you how to be, but
I'm gonna say it Anyways, pop culture things.
Pop culture
happening.
Okay.
This is another thing I wanted to bring up today, solely for the fact that I read it and I like breathed a sigh and was like, yes. Because as you guys
said this before.
Yeah. As you guys know, we have a problem with J.K. Rowling constantly coming in and amending the Harry Potter universe. It's annoying. It basically is a problem that started with the epilogue to Harry Potter and has continued incessantly ever since then. And while I will say that I'm excited for the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie because the pictures look magical and amazing, overall, I'm like, okay, JK, you need to just let us have the story now and stop. And so there was an article that came out today on Huffington Post that was called J.K. Rowling is ruining Harry Potter and it's all our fault. I'm not sure why it's all our fault. That wasn't really proven.
That was the one gripe with the article. I'm like, maybe it's because we think it's being ruined. I think that was maybe her point. Anyway,
maybe. Also, you know, a lot of times authors don't actually write the headlines to their articles, so someone else reads it.
Also, if you're an author
get people to look at it
and need headlines for your articles, I would also like to help you. Or if you need street names or nail polish names, I've also wanted to do names. Yeah, I think it'd be fun to name streets, but I also think it'd be fun to name nail polish.
Oh, okay. That's we've got some. What would you? Now I want to know. Let's see. What would you name this fine nail polish?
Is that black?
It is. I honestly don't know. This was from Melanie. Let's see. I'll put it on my finger. It's right now. Its name is Seductive. I think you could.
So that tells you nothing. It's probably purple. It's probably a purple color.
It looks purpley.
Like a dark purple. Ooh, I'd call it Maleficent.
Ooh, I like that.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a purple.
Yeah.
I like this because Melanie chose these based on our personalities. And I like that either she picked it because Seductive matched my personality or because a dark purple matched my personality.
Unfortunately, I'm going to probably have to go with the dark purple. No offense. I've never really been seduced by you.
Well, I'm just saying, if I put my charm on you.
Okay, well.
I'm super seductive, laddie. You just don't even know.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What was mine? Mine was...
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Mine doesn't even have a name. What a joke.
Wait, look at... Oh, yeah.
Nail polish number 130.
Oh, that's right. You were trying to look it up at dinner the other night, too.
Oh, yeah.
What would you call it? Now you have your opportunity, Kristen.
Yeah. Now I'd call it Elsa. Get it? Get it?
I'm noticing a theme here.
Disney characters.
You just want to name nail polishes after Disney characters. So if Disney needs someone to name their nail polishes, we have someone for you.
It's
Disney,
me.
pay attention. It's Kristen Letterall. So in this article, it's basically talking about how, you know, she revealed why Harry named his kid Severus, even though clearly he should hate him and yada yada. But the thesis of this article basically was like, you know, she's entitled to do that if she wants. She's clearly super attached to this universe, but like basically ignore her.
Which I think is what she meant by like, we're the ones that are ruining it because we're taking her seriously. So it's like,
yeah,
you don't need to do that. Like, I have been ignoring her every time. Like, I don't even want to click on that story until you're like, no, just read it. Because I'm like, I don't care. Like, no matter what you say, it's just going to be something I don't care about. And it's always like lame things that are like, anyway, whatever.
In fact, one of those weird things she amended later too, almost like was one of the only questions I got wrong when I was auditioning for Geeks Who Drink. They asked me like, who was the only Jewish student named in Harry Potter?
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea. But it turns out because there was no like explicitly Jewish character in it. She just later was like, oh, this character was Jewish.
Yeah, that's stupid. That doesn't count.
It does not
also,
count.
by the way, Brienne just texted me and said that I'm not your target audience. It's not that you're not seductive.
Thanks, producer Bree.
Oh, producer Bree. I wish she was like sitting across from us so we could be like, she could like hold up signs and we could.
When I move back. Yeah, when I move back down there, we'll just set up a studio and Bree can sit on the side.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And it'll be like a real podcast. It'll be.
You know what we should do is just sit up like in your living room, but put like a piece of like plexiglass on in between us, so it looks. Yeah, like
just for Bree to sit on the other side of.
Yeah.
We'll just give her like buttons to push. They don't do anything, but
like when you're in line for rides at Universal Studios.
Oh my god, there are so many buttons.
Panels of fake buttons for your rides because I need that.
Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend. There are so many buttons to push in line for the Transformers ride, you guys. It's insane.
We didn't even get to push them all because we had to leave line.
That's the real tragedy here, is that we didn't get to push all the buttons that we had the opportunity to push because of the ride breaking down. It was really sad. Whoops, I just removed something. Yeah, so that's our lesson.
She'll be my Paul Schaefer.
Huh?
Bree said she'd sit with me. She'll be my Paul Schaefer.
I like it. I'm for it. Next week, Bree, jump in. So yeah, we were just very validated to see someone on the Huffington Post say the thing that we've been telling you for a year and a half now. Just ignore J.K. Rowling. Her headcanon is her headcanon.
And she's basically just writing her fan fiction now. So you can just do with that what you will.
Yeah, and it's as lame as like bad fan fiction is.
Yeah, it's definitely not good fan fiction.
It's not good fan fiction. Another thing happening right now.
I'm very excited about this. Okay,
yeah, you guys, ask.
This is not a drill. Ecto Cooler is coming back. I don't know if you guys remember this high C drink from back in the day in the 90s. It was Ecto Cooler, and it was amazing, and it was green, and I actually don't even really know what the flavor was. I think it was orange, but it was
it said so in the article that I sent you. It even said with something. Yeah, they changed the name to something else, and I want to say maybe that said kind of what the flavor was, but it's nothing that occurs in nature.
Yeah, it's high C, so of course it's nothing that occurs in nature. First of all. But I'm very excited about this because that was mine and my brother's like jam back in the day. I sent him that one immediately.
And you know what's great too? I was like Googling pictures of it, and there were some pictures in the article too. But I know they won't do this, but I wish they would bring it back in the old high C can. You remember? And you opened it with the little triangle shaped thing. Oh my gosh,
that was back with the original artwork.
That would be great. I want them to change nothing. I want it to be exactly the Ecto Cooler.
Dust off the bottles they didn't sell and sell those to us. That's what I want.
Yeah. And actually, if you guys go to electricfeast.com and check out the blog, the story of bringing it back actually was kind of an interesting glimpse at like how this kind of thing works, because it talks about them like, they're like, well, they applied for a patent on it in August or something like that, and that went through, and so now they're moving forward with this. And I was like, I never thought about that, like the process of reintroducing something that you had already made. It's not as easy as just being like, and we make it again. And also seeing that they had rebranded, like apparently you could get this till 2001, but it was called something else, which I had no idea about. And clearly nobody wanted to drink it if it wasn't Ecto Cooler.
I don't know why you would, honestly.
Yeah, no, it needs that. It needs that gimmick. It needs Slimer on the front of it. I don't even know if we explained this. This was a Ghostbusters promotion. So if you're like too young to have been there for it,
or if you're not from here and didn't drink Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Exactly.
It was definitely a Ghostbusters thing, so they're bringing it back for the movie. Now the story makes sense, I guess.
That probably makes a little more sense to you now. I loved it when I was a kid. I even in college was writing a poem about youth, and Ecto Cooler made its way into my poem. Like,
as it should.
So this time I just have to make sure that whenever it comes out, because I'm sure it's going to be limited quantities and all that kind of stuff, that I get it, because I don't want it to be one of those like surge situations. Although we have surge now, and we still have
surge, and I still have warheads. We never.
Yeah, we have surge and warheads that we have to try one of these days, and just haven't gotten around to. So maybe next week we'll do that, because I have the surges and the warheads are just sitting on this shelf right behind me. So
mine are right here.
So close and yet so far away. So we'll try we have to do our 90s snacks episode as well. But yeah, so Ecto Cooler is coming back, and if you're like us and this was a super exciting thing when you were a kid, I like looking back, I can't even believe I was allowed to drink that. I think it was like one of those situations where it was like my parents were split up, and so sometimes you get things that like you wouldn't have otherwise. Like they're apologizing to you with high fructose corn syrup. And
high fructose corn syrup wasn't a big deal back then, was it?
Yeah, exactly.
There was never commercials back then that was like, this isn't made with high fructose corn syrup.
Right.
And I'm like, no one cares. Those were always our things that we got at like class. I mean, I remember vividly drinking it at my 5th grade party.
Oh, there you go. That's what it was about. Any form of party at school. Because my mom was like super hippie, ate only healthy food from the co-op type person.
Oh, see, my mom was not like that.
Yeah. So that's my hippie New England upbringing. You know, I lived near Vermont. This is the kind of place that I lived. So
you ate a lot of syrup, huh?
Yeah, a lot of syrup. Which is not high like sugar content.
Which is not high fructose corn syrup.
Not high fructose corn syrup. It's regular fructose tree syrup. and so yeah, I was never allowed to have like I never had Kool-Aid till I was in college.
Oh my gosh,
like things like that.
Like
but except I would have the Kool-Aid bursts at softball games. So it was always about like softball games or parties in class or things like that, where it was like, oh my God, I can eat things that have sugar in them.
Yeah.
This is incredible. But, you know, maybe that's why to this day I don't really like sugar all that much, though. It's like once I tried it, I was like,
maybe.
I can believe it.
Maybe.
Yeah. But moving on, we have some movie things.
We have
too.
some movie trailers, you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and just movie news, actually.
Yeah, just movie news all around.
First up, we get a little glimpse, sort of, into production, at least, of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Zoe Saldana posted a picture of her. It did actually look like she'd been slimed, like she'd been on Nickelodeon.
It was crazy.
It was like this weird, and it was like lumpy, so I'm not entirely sure what they were doing, because it wasn't like her.
Well, it said they were making a mold of her.
I guess I didn't
know why.
I don't know why either. And I don't know why it had to be green, because it's like she's going to be wearing that, right? If it's just a mold. I don't know. Right. Anyway, it was very interesting. It was this bright green glob, and she was sitting with like a trash bag. It was like over her here, and she just was very still. She was very still.
Yeah, it said it's like hours that she has to sit in this with someone making sure that she can breathe.
Yeah, that's a lot of trust. When I read that part, I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh yeah, someone else has to be in charge of making sure you don't die.
And just like not moving for hours.
Yeah.
Not eating. She couldn't snack. I mean, I guess in Hollywood they don't eat a lot anyway.
Well,
but
have we seen her though? She probably doesn't snack a whole lot.
Yeah, she's probably pretty good at not snacking for hours at a time.
She's
but
pretty small.
I'm just saying that looked pretty miserable, but is really exciting because that means that Guardians 2 is coming slowly but surely. We can look forward to it. Do you know when it's slated to come out in that large MCU plan?
2017.
That would make sense. Yeah, if they're starting production now and they have all that stuff in between. I'm so excited about that. By the way, that also reminds me that this week, you know, more people are finishing Jessica Jones since it's been out for almost 2 weeks now. And it's so fun to watch people react to it, especially because across the board, I just keep seeing everyone like David Tennant is the best villain in the Marvel universe. Like,
all I do is read articles about it. And I read that, maybe we must have read the same one where they're talking about how he's like the most relatable. They're like, in all of these Marvel movies, the villain like wants to take over the world. And it's like, you never meet a villain like that. You're like, but there are villains who are just really manipulative, controlling, abusive people who then get obsessed with a person and stalk them. Like, that's actually more common than an alien coming to Earth and wanting to enslave everybody. You know, so that's what I thought was interesting too. And I'm like, the more I read about it, I'm like, I got to go back and rewatch it now with all of these kind of things that float around and the way that they've explained it. And it's just,
I think like we even talked about it, I think when we were watching it, the fact that like his goal is so small.
Yeah.
You know,
so
like
small.
he doesn't have any big grandiose thing that he's going to do. He just kind of like wants this one woman. And
which if you think about, and so that's what's so interesting about this story is it's such a female story where that happens to women more often than I think people want to think it does, where they are kind of, you know, plucked out and singled out for whatever reason.
He may have like an extra power, but you know,
but his power is
still something otherwise that people do and that people experience regularly.
Right.
You know?
And it's one of those things where in this instance, it makes it a power. So it makes it something you can't get away from, you know, but I think it speaks to the fact of like, that's also how women in those kind of situations feel, as if they can't not do what the person is telling them because of whatever is happening to them, you know? So you guys, it's just so great. I know that just going into it, it's not a happy story. It's a awfully dark story.
It's super heavy.
But it's one of those stories that it has a superhero tinge to it, as in these people have extra human powers, but at the same time those are almost like secondary to the things that the people and the characters experience. And I honestly, I can't recommend it enough. I recommended it to an entire meeting today.
By the way, I forgot to open up the Q&A thing, and someone named Dark Fox Void said that the High C Ecto Cooler tastes like Fanta. Like, interesting. But what flavor of Fanta?
Must be orange.
I guess. I don't know. Because there's like a line of them, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess there's true. I've only had orange Fanta, so that's another thing I'm trying to remember. But anyway.
When I was in Mexico in like 2001, I remember because it was the week before September 11th. I had a like Mandarin orange Fanta down there or something like that. Like they had like a different one, and I've lived my life trying to get back the experience of that. Like even in like later Mexico trips, I've never been able to like.
It was like a freak. It's like that one time when you know.
That's worse.
Yeah, I feel your pain. We all had those moments.
Yeah. But anyway, so thank you for that insight. It's been so long since I've had it that I really do like not. I don't totally remember what it tastes like. Except
I just remember loving it.
So I really like it. I was super into it. And then we've got some trailers. Yes.
So the first. Oh, go ahead. You want to go?
Go ahead.
Okay. No. The first one I sent this. I was on trailers. I've just been on trailer binge for the past couple weeks. There's apparently, I didn't even know this movie was happening. There's a third Barbershop, the next cut coming out. And so it's 10 years after the first one. And I had told Corian that I don't even know how they can make this movie because Michael Ealy isn't even in it. So I don't even know if I'm going to see it. Frankly, I'm that annoyed by it. But
okay, can I make a confession here? I've never seen the Barbershop movies. But this trailer made me like, I should watch these.
They're just delightful. They're just fun. They're fun. I actually don't remember. Oh, I saw the second one. Yeah, I did. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I do remember enjoying them. It's fun because they're just all in there together and they razz each other and they just all seem like friends, but then they have, these things that happen outside of where they are. So, Michael Ealy's not in it. But
who was he in it? Like, what was his role?
He was just one of the barbers. So
okay.
Ice Cube owns the barbershop. Right. And he's got like a, crew of guys. And so for the first two, the only woman in the shop was Eve.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So Eve was the only woman in the shop. And then Eve, not like that's not her character's name. That's like the singer.
Right. Eve is in the hip hop artist.
Yeah. Eve. Yes. She didn't have a last name, so it's kind of hard to go farther than that.
Did she like go by a last name in it, or was she like starring Eve?
Just starring Eve, I think. I don't remember that much about it. That much about her name choices for the previous movies. But anyway, so yeah. But Anthony Anderson's in the previous one. Obviously, Ice Cube is. Cedric the Entertainer's in them. I remember seeing Eve in this one. I really love Regina Hall, so I'm excited that she's going to be in it. And they kind of split. It looks like they split the shop now. So in order to stay open for their respective businesses, they kind of had to combine it. So there's this little, some of the guys are like, man, I used to come in here because it was like a way to like hang out with my, guys. And now anyway, it just looks fun. And Nicki Minaj looks ridiculous, and she looks like she's going to be the one that's like, I don't know. I just think she's adorable. So
yeah, and we're dealing, contemporary issues, and like gang violence, and
I like the message of this one of like this kind of grassroots, like let's take our neighborhood, like let's do something about this neighborhood,
from the inside.
From the inside, it's not like someone's coming in and is like, I should help you. It's like they see a problem, they love this place, they're like, let's do something about it. It's affecting our kids, and so that's what it looks like. They kind of well up support to kind of help the neighborhood get back on its feet for whatever reason. So I'm actually kind of excited. I don't know if we'll go see it. I probably more of like a matinee or dollar theater type of deal when it's not a big action movie usually. But I don't know. I always loved the other ones. So you guys should check out the other ones if you haven't seen them. But
yeah, no, I'm for it. I watched it and I was like, no, why haven't I been watching these things all these years? But this is always the funny thing is that like between the two of us, Kristen has seen like every Black movie ever, and I have seen like zero. Pretty much. So there's that whole thing. Unexpected reversal. Kristen's
reversal of roles.
I was having a hard time. And then the other trailer that came out
could not be more opposite than Barbershop.
More opposite. Okay, so the I Saw the Light full trailer came out, and this is the first moment, because we've seen so many delightful things from this movie, that I remembered that this ends badly.
Oh,
because it's like you watch everything else and you just get so excited about Tom Hiddleston as Hank Williams, and he's been going and performing and being adorable as him and nailing it, and all this stuff coming out, and then you're like, this guy dies at 29 from like terribleness. This isn't like Walk the Line where you're like, and then, things sort of get sorted out.
There's like a redemptive quality. I'm like, I don't know how much, I don't know a whole lot about him other than he died young, and he, and was a pioneer for country music. So for me, I kind of forgot that too. And even the trailer starts out like kind of happy. Like
really
it's reveal him and his wife. I'm like, oh, this is so great. And then it takes this dark turn where you're like, oh yeah, that's right. He was like an alcoholic and took a lot of pills.
Yeah.
You've forgotten all of that. They conveniently help you forget that at some point. But
yeah. So this was when you watch this trailer, it's a downer.
It is.
And it can't be anything else. Yeah.
No, the trailer even. I was like, that wasn't even that long. It was like 2 minutes, and I was like, oh gosh, like, and I'm fighting myself. I'm like, well, maybe he won't die at the end. Like maybe. And then it's like, oh, you have a son. And I'm like, oh, it's Hank Williams Jr.
And then you're like, oh, it's Hank Williams Jr.
It's Hank Williams Jr. And I'm like, I wonder what he thinks of this movie. Like, this must be so sad for him. And is his mom still alive? Probably not. I don't know.
He is still alive, and he's a little bit crazy. So,
No, he is.
It's just like,
his mom is still alive.
Oh, his mom. Yeah. I don't know about that. But yeah, it's one of those things you're watching it and you're like really in it. It seems sweet in the beginning, and then you're like, oh, this ends badly. So I'm excited about it, but I'm also just like, oh, I'm gonna need to drink or something.
Yeah, that was the problem, Corey.
I know.
Nothing from
I learned nothing. I'm like, I better drink and pop a Xanax.
Before I watch this movie, he does it. You're like,
oh no. But it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really. I'm excited because I've always wanted to see something with Elizabeth Olsen because I've heard she's so great. But
you've never seen anything. Oh well, you saw.
I don't count Avengers.
Avengers, yeah.
But I mean like a real one where she's like an actual
like an actual actress
character, an actress in it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like she's always in things where I'm like, I don't really want to see that. Maybe she'll be in something better that I'll see. And then she was gonna be in this, and she looks great in it. So I'm excited.
I know I've seen several things with her in them besides that. The only one that's coming to mind at the moment is she was in this horror movie that was actually really cool because it's like filmed sort of like unfolding in real time. So I think the title of it is called like 88 minutes or something like that, you know? And so it is that amount of time and you're just following the whole, you know, thing. And I can't remember if there's no cuts in it. There might not be any cuts. Or they fudge the cut so it looks like there aren't any. So you actually like, it's like a home invasion type story. And she and her dad are living in some house, you know, like The Strangers. But it was good. If you like those kinds of movies.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Really good. Yeah, you probably shouldn't. But I really liked it. I think that was the first thing that I ever saw her in. And so like Avengers kind of calls you wrong because it's like the stupid accent and all that. And you know, it's like, But I think she is quite good. I never saw like the Marcy, Mary,
Magdalene,
Maggie, Marlene,
Boris,
Mickey,
Matilda.
I think we nailed it. That sounds right.
I'm just trying to think of all the M names I know. What's an M filter? Mayfair? Mayfair?
Exactly. But yeah, no, I think this looks like a good one. You can see the trailer on electricfeast.com on our blog and decide for yourself whether you want to see this horribly sad picture. I'm just going to spoil it for you right now. It does not end well.
Well, we've already said that already.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that about Hank Williams, you should.
If you didn't know that. Wikipedia, that ish. Hey, did you know that Hank's name is not Henry? It's Hiram.
Oh, I did not know that. There you go.
Yeah.
Like Hiram Walker. Ah, see? It was on the wall.
And that Hank Williams Jr. is not really a junior because he has like a different name. It's like something Hank Williams. So he's not Hiram something Williams Jr. He's something Hank Williams.
But his mom must have called him Hank, and then he couldn't go by Hank Williams, so he put the junior on the end, huh?
Hank Williams Jr. Either that or he's, riding that fame wagon or something. I don't know. But that's my the more you know about Hank Williams Jr. Hiram.
We'll see how popular that name gets after next year.
Yeah, after you watch old Hiram OD.
I've always liked the name Hank. I kind of thought it was a fun name.
Yeah, Hank is a good name. My dad's name was Henry James, and he went by Jimmy. But I feel like he could have been a Hank. I'm like, gotcha what?
Hank's one of those names that's like solid.
It is, yeah.
Like, sorry. You're solid if your name's Hank. You can't not be. I feel like you're a good man if your name's Hank.
Yeah. Either that or like you can at least fix a car if your name is Hank.
Yeah. And you
can't.
For sure. Yeah. But I just feel like I don't know how to explain it other than solid. Like I would trust you if your name was Hank. Maybe that's
well, it's a good thing you never encountered Hank Williams.
Well, I could have trusted him, maybe.
We'll see. Anyways, interesting news to build upon last week. We ranted about the Gods of Egypt trailer coming out, and that yet another epic taking place on the continent of Africa has no black people in it, or has one black person in it.
No,
and is led by all white people. And in a surprise development, the director of the film and Lionsgate, who produced it, came out and were like, "Oh, our bad." They were like, "Listen, the casting process is complicated, but it was short-sighted, and basically it was stupid of us to not have thought about this." And then they said they should never phrase this way, because at this point, everyone hates that. They said, "We're sorry to anyone who was offended," which always basically sounds like we're sorry you were offended, not we're sorry for what we did.
Yeah.
But I think, even Ava, I don't know how you say her last name, Ava DuVernay?
Oh, yeah.
The director of Selma, she even came out and was like, well, hey, this is a thing that people never do. So that's cool. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, F them, whatever. And yeah, to a certain extent, sure, F them. this really shouldn't be a thing that you don't think about in the entire casting process, especially when you're making a movie about Egypt. But at the same time, I think there is some validity to the fact that, like, recognizing that they came out and instead of being like Ridley Scott and that whole team being like, well, we just wanted the best actor for the job, and the best actors are white. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know?
Or they didn't he even say the only people he knows from Egypt are white? I think he had said
that wasn't him. That was, I think that was Rupert Murdoch who said that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was.
That would have been even, an even worse PR move for that movie. No, it was Rupert Murdoch who said that. But, you know, that was basically the response of everybody behind that movie was like, psh, don't worry about it. Like, we picked who was best, and, you know, we don't have any black people who are good actors, apparently.
Well, they also tried to excuse it, and they, remember, I don't remember what they had there.
Like the foreign markets thing.
Yeah, and there was just other, like, things that they said, we were like, that isn't, what? You know? And they just kept trying to make all these excuses for it, and so what I thought was refreshing about this is they didn't try to excuse it at all, really. Nope. They were just like, no, yeah, this... And you were right, and I think people can rightly point out, like, well, it's a little too late for that, and it's 2015. That should be something you notice. But at the same time, like, thanks for not trying to make us, like, don't, like, treat us like we're stupid. Like, well, you don't understand the process of, like, you know what? I think I do. I think I understand that you didn't want any black people in your movie, is what I understand. To do that. And we even, Unicorn and I even said, we were like, there is Chadwick Boseman, like we've noted, was the one kind of lone minority character who's not playing a slave.
Right.
And I was really shocked that they didn't try to be like, no, we've got that one guy, you know.
Exactly. Like, they did nothing to sort of excuse themselves. Like, they were just like, yeah, we effed this one up, guys. We'll do better later on. And, you know, I appreciate that. And I think one of the things, like you said, sort of talking about that, like the excusing of it based on markets, like, oh, well, you know, then people in China won't watch the movie because everybody in it's not white or whatever, you know? And this past week we had Creed come out, which has been like a huge success and everyone's into it. And we have movies like this that keep coming out and do big box office that are led by people of color. And it's like, at what point do we put this myth to bed that people can't handle seeing a person of color in a lead role? Like, if you make a good movie with people of color in it, that's not just like a black movie or a, you know, Hispanic movie or a gang movie or something like that. People go and see it. You know, there's stories that people want to hear, and it doesn't matter to them if the person happens to be a person of color. In fact, it might be a draw. So, you know, that's, I think at this point, really Hollywood needs to start paying attention to that. And obviously Lionsgate sort of heard it when they came out with this. You know, they're like, ooh, we hear you. We hear what you're saying about this. This is a massive mistake, and this is something that they are going to have to think about from this point forward. So I give that air point to the internet.
Heyo.
That's all I'm saying.
Heyo.
Good job, internet, for raising a fuss and making them listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Television.
Yes, speaking of the royalty of African-American TV.
Word.
Or African-American couple of TV.
Yeah, we have, this is wonderful news, especially because, as you know, Chris and I like the cheesy Hallmark and Lifetime Christmas movies. Harriet and Carl Winslow are back together in a Lifetime Christmas movie. And for those of you who missed the 90s, that would be the patriarch and matriarch of the Family Matters show.
So good.
Which brought us Urkel and whatnot. Oh my gosh. Like, looking at the picture, go to the link that we posted on the feast and look at the picture of the two of them. And it is like, it will just warm your heart to a degree that is necessary in this wild world we live in.
I'm just so excited.
Sweet. I'm so stoked for it. And they kept this under wraps for like a while, because this comes out like, what, next week or something like that? And somehow nobody had any idea this was happening. And so all of a sudden it was trending. It was like, wait, what? We get to see them back together. And it points out, too, that they replaced Harriet in the last season of Family Matters. This is the first time that these two have worked together since, like, 1997.
Oh, so excited.
It's great. I was watching an episode of
Plus,
Chopped.
it's got Miriam Bialik. Is that how you say her name?
Mayim Bialik?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
No.
Miriam Bialik? What happened there?
I've legit never heard her name spoken aloud.
That's because you didn't have cable in the 90s.
Yeah,
that's why she was all over all those special things at the time. It does have Mayim Bialik in it. I was going to say, I watched an episode of Chopped a few weeks ago. That was a special 90s TV moms episode. And so it had Harriet Winslow competing against Lisa Landry from Sister Sister. There was one that was from something I didn't watch, and I can't remember what it was. And then the other one was Matthews. What's her name? Yeah, from Boy Meets World.
Was Suzanne Summers there from Step by Step?
No, there's no Suzanne Summers. They only have 4 competitors, and the other one was another black woman from something that I didn't watch, so I wasn't familiar with her. But the other 3, I was like, this is amazing. Except that every time they got eliminated, I was like crushed.
Yeah.
Like, I can't deal with the fact that you just eliminated Mrs. Winslow.
How dare you?
Yeah. And it felt awkward too. Like you could tell the judges felt weird about it. Like everybody involved was like, this is wrong. You raised us. We shouldn't be doing this to you.
It's definitely like disqualifying your mom from something.
Yeah, it really is. And that's the other thing about Chopped in general, too, is when they do any form of like celebrity one, whether it's celebrity chefs or celebrities from TV shows or whatever the case may be, they're always playing for charity. And so they talk up the charity that they're going to donate to if they win, and then they don't get anything. So you're also like double sad. You're like, not only did you just get rid of my favorite TV mom, but also now the kids that she was going to teach to read aren't going to get any new books. You know? It's so sad. It's just tragic.
Now that poor family won't get the house they need. You're like, oh, right? Man. I'm so sorry. How much money do you?
They pick all these wonderful, wonderful things to donate to, and you're like, oh, sad. This is my biggest problem with Chopped, but that's okay. What did Bree say? Producer Bree says, Angel Ross is going to be in the show too. What? And this is, we haven't talked about this show yet, so we're getting messages from producer Bree for later on. So we'll move on to it's the next thing on our list.
It's the next
Thank
thing.
goodness.
Yes. That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
Danny Pino and Mary Elizabeth
Amaro.
Yeah, exactly. Amaro. Maybe that's what everyone's naming their kids after, not Instagram filters. Amaro from SVU.
I would. He's a pretty attractive guy.
He is. He works it. I was sad that he left SVU.
He's got a good head of hair.
Really does. I mean, it's a fine specimen. He and Mary Elizabeth Winstead will be leading a CBS horror comedy drama thing called Brain Dead, in which they are in DC and in the political world of Washington, DC. And Congress is being taken over by brain-eating aliens.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So, I don't...
Is it a documentary?
Yeah. I know. It's an expose. It's made by the people
the guy from To Catch a Predator that like comes out. We're like, oh my gosh, they're doing this whole time.
Oh my gosh. Why don't you have a seat? Let's have a conversation. It's made by the people who make Good Wife, so that's exciting for me because I love Good Wife, but this is the weirdest premise
it is weird
on the planet.
But you know it's going to be the highest rated TV show ever created in the history of time because every show on CBS is the most highest. You cannot be the highest rated show.
Or it's gonna like flop because it's just like an un-CBS show. Like
I don't know though.
I don't know.
You've got Mary Elizabeth and you've got Danny Pino. So
well, as producer Bree likes to point out,
Aaron Tvei's in it.
That's what she was just saying. She was like, "Oh, Enjolras is going to be in it," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So Aaron Tveit,
his name from Les Mis.
From Les Mis,
I still haven't seen that. I wasn't sure.
No, that's right. We were just talking about that the other day, huh? Aaron Tveit is going to be in it. Oh my goodness, is he a pretty boy? Let me tell you. So the King. It says the Kings, who are the ones who do Good Wife, executive produced Brain Dead with Ridley Scott, David Zucker, Brooke Kennedy, and Liz Glotzer for CBS Television Studios, which is crazy. It just it's weird, but I'm 110% for it.
Except we can't watch it because it'll only be on CBS, and you can't watch CBS unless you actually get CBS.
So dumb.
Come on, you gotta come through with us on this.
Yeah, but I'm excited theoretically about it. What's going to happen is I'm going to be really excited. I'm going to watch the first episode, and then I'm going to get behind, and then I'll never see it again, just like everything else on CBS.
But CBS usually goes to Netflix, so you could catch it there.
That's true. So someday I will see it, and I wish the best for that cast. I like all of those people. So boom. And that's we've covered it so that we can eat now, right?
Yes.
Okay, you guys.
What should we eat first? What should we eat first?
I don't know.
Like we should do the Marmite first, just because it seems like them. Or maybe you want to do the cookies.
Let's do the crackers. The crackers. So that I can pick a cracker that I'll eat the Marmite with. So here's the thing. What we've learned.
Which crackers? Wait, the shapes?
Yeah, the shapes.
I'm eating the cheese and bacon ones.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start with cheese and bacon shapes.
No, you should. Are we? Oh, we're gonna eat each of the bags.
Yeah. Otherwise, how will we know? How will we compare?
I don't know. I just kind of thought we would taste one, so then I could eat the rest later.
Well, you can put them in a Ziploc bag for later, right?
Oh, I guess, but then they're... Okay. All right, I'm ready. Keep that. Okay. So cheese and bacon.
Cheese and bacon. Shapes. It smells like...
They totally smell like the Cheese Whiz cheese and cheddar bacon.
It does, yeah. Okay, so this is... Ready? We're eating... So this is called shapes, is what they are. This is a cheese and bacon flavored cracker. Yeah. Oh, different texture than I was expecting. Sorry if you hate the sound of eating. There's going to be some crunching.
You like that saliva swirling around?
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's like kind of just sort of a regular...
It's like a regular cracker.
A regular cracker with like a dusting of bacon. It's like bacon bits and Cheese Whiz.
Yeah, but I feel like the bacon bits are baked onto it because there's like pink dots.
Yeah, it's there's dots in it. If you're watching this, here's what it looks like. These little, although that's not focusing, but you can kind of see there's pink dots in the cracker. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I don't know if I would eat that on a regular basis, but it's not bad. Should we try barbecue?
Barbecue.
This is a flavor we're fairly familiar with over here. I love that on the back. It says for nutrition information, instead of calories, it says energy, and then it gives it to you in like joules or whatever.
Yeah, they just
this means nothing to me. I could eat them forever.
It's like in Parks and Rec when someone, who is it? I think someone tells Andy how the food he eats becomes energy, and he's like, "That was a cookie, spaghetti." And he's like jumping around.
So this
barbecue
smells basically the same as the last one to me, but maybe it's because I have it on my fingers still. This is barbecue. There's
green flakes on it.
There's green flakes.
That's weird.
That's not traditional.
That's not traditional.
Now I don't know what to expect. All right, let's try it. What the? It tastes like
Miss Cubison's stuffing.
I don't know what that tastes like. It tastes like marinara sauce to me.
They keep using barbecue. I don't think it means what they think it means.
No. Like, I feel like there's something tinged in there that's like a little bit like barbecue.
I taste no barbecue. I'm telling you though, it 100% tastes like Miss Cubison's stuffing.
Now I'm curious about that. That did not taste anything like what I was expecting.
I'm really going to need you to make some stuffing so that you can tell me I'm right.
Next week, I'll be trying this stuffing that apparently tastes exactly like this cracker that I'm not entirely sold on.
All right.
Seems like a good idea. Pizza. Let's do pizza. These the flavors are very similar to those of you who live in places that have them to combos, but they don't totally taste like combos. Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Should we be cleansing our palate? We need some.
Have a little wine. Mm. This cracker has red flakes and some orange flakes on it.
Oh
I'm
man,
guessing that's cheese.
This one looks scary.
It smells unrecognizable. All right.
Actually, tastes like pizza.
It tastes exactly like a pizza combo.
That is so weird.
Right? There's like something strange about emulating the a food's taste in a different texture. It's like eating Bertie Bott's jelly beans or any jelly bean, really. Like, why does this jelly bean taste like popcorn?
I don't like that. I don't even like those. That's weird. It's like it's probably like what's her face, Violet in
in Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Yeah. It's interesting. If you like pizza combos, you would like pizza shapes. And the last shape we have is cheddar.
Boring.
I don't know. You don't know yet.
That's true. Barbecue is definitely not boring.
Yeah. It smells like Cheez-Its. Who's that?
No, it doesn't.
It smells like a Cheez-It to me.
Yeah, I had Cheez-Its today.
But it's white. You had Cheez-Its today?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah. It's like a really light Cheez-It.
Yeah, I actually really like this one.
Yeah. I think this is what I'll put my Marmite on. Because there's not a lot of flavor to it. It's
You don't have any crackers in your house?
We have no breads of any form in this house. This is what happens when I get on some form of health kick. As I run out of bread. So this is kind of the crazy thing. Sorry about my gross hand. This is Marmite, you guys. Marmite is the thing that I'm most terrified of. Someone, when I posted a picture of this saying we were going to try this tonight, their response was, "No, don't do that."
Okay.
But we also had some people who were like, "It's really good. You're supposed to eat it on toast, apparently. That's the way to do it. But I have no bread in my house."
I have
Kristen,
toast.
you have toast, though.
And you're supposed to eat
toast.
lightly. And you're supposed to put a little bit of butter. So I put a little bit of butter, and then you're supposed to put just a tiny bit on there.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what this scent is that's happening. Is this supposed to be sweet? Because it says say herbs and spices and
yeast. It's a yeast spread.
I don't even know what that means. It looks like tar.
It looks like what was Hexus from Fern Gully?
Or it looks like ectoplasm from Supernatural.
Yeah, it does. So, oh god, yeah, it looks like I just dipped my cracker in tar.
All right, are you ready?
No, but
yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
I'm so nervous about this. Okay.
Okay, ready?
All right, it's happening.
Set.
1. Yeah,
2,
okay.
Go.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Why does it taste like that? Oh.
What's happening? Why would you make this?
No, why? Oh god, sweet Jeebus. Oh, that is foul. Oh god. I don't, guys, I want to describe it, but I don't, what, the first thing you get is salty.
Yeah, it's really salty, right?
Yeah, so that was my first thing is it was oh, it's a lot of salt, but okay. And then it's the more it settled into my mouth, it was this really strong, tangy, oh.
It did taste like food.
No, but it does taste like an exaggerated version of what it smells like.
Yeah. It does taste like it smells.
It's like a bouillon cube. Like a raw bouillon cube.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
it tastes like some kind of meat.
Yeah.
Spread.
It's so weird. I don't know, New Zealand.
I'm gonna have to call shenanigans.
Yeah, I call shenanigans on this. I don't believe that any of you eat this on purpose.
This is one of those things where people just say they eat it because they think it's cool.
Yeah, right.
Because no one else likes it. They trick people into eating it, but I also think it's because it's like a pride thing. Like, oh, this is our New Zealand thing. I'm like, dude, get something that people outside of your country like, because then you'll really know if it's true.
Good point. So let's stick with things. We'll sort of clean up with some of the sweeter things, and maybe let's try these licorice logs.
No, I'm a little worried about these two. I'm not super good.
I am. That's why I feel like in keeping with the theme, it's like everything else can kind of recover. I like the texture of them. I'm curious about that. But they also kind of look like
because
oil.
they're like very tubey.
Yeah.
They're smooth.
Yeah. I mean, what is licorice? Do you know? Is it like a plant?
God.
I don't know. Wow. This is, oh man.
It's wheat flour, cane sugar, glucose syrup, and licorice extract.
You know what it smells like? It smells like absinthe.
I don't want to do it. Do I have to do it?
You have to do it. All right. Let's try this log.
I ripped a piece off. I'm not eating that whole log.
Well, I wasn't going to shove the whole thing in my mouth. I was just going to take a bite.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sean's going to have a field day with that one.
Oh, come on. That could that could be worse. I don't love it.
Yeah, it could be Marmite.
Could be Marmite. It's not that, maybe it's because the Marmite was so strong.
Ooh, it gives me chills.
But that doesn't taste as strong as I was expecting it to. But you clearly disagree. The more I chew it, though, the more it does kind of settle in.
In my teeth, now.
Yep. Now we are part licorice. It's like, that's the thing. Licorice just becomes you.
Just becomes her.
Yeah, so that was RJ's natural licorice log.
Pizza shape.
Yeah, get that taste out of your mouth. I want to try a candy stick. What do you say about that?
Yeah, the Spaceman one?
Spaceman candy sticks, you guys. It's got a picture of a spaceman and a rocket ship that it looks like he's punching.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. And I like this because it has this feel of like really old classic candies that you get in those like 50s nostalgia shops. Like except that it has a QR code on the back.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah. Otherwise.
I thought maybe the Best Buy date was going to say like 1965.
Yeah. Melanie just found these in her attic.
These are remarkably preserved.
Yeah. And it looks like those candy cigarettes that you get, like cheap candy cigarettes. So, let's see.
My name's Janet Snakehole.
There you go. Oh, that was not the texture I was expecting. Whoa. No, nothing about this is what I was expecting. It's soft. Kind of like gum. It's not gum, right?
Almost like gum. Or are we supposed to not swallow it?
I'm like, now just...
Because it kind of tastes like gum.
It does. It's got a texture similar to gum.
It doesn't say it on here.
And it tastes kind of like Smarties. A little bit. It's I'm going to say Smarties is what it tastes like.
But
the texture is really surprising.
The texture is almost like a Smartie. It's like not quite as chalky. Like it looks chalky on the outside.
But it's not like hard. It's not like a thing you crunch through. It's like a soft gum texture with a Smarties taste.
It's like you're going to keep chewing it, but then it kind of disintegrates.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like it. I can see myself as a kid going through these. Yeah. Made by Carousel Confectionery Limited on 53 Railway Road, Palmerston North, New Zealand. I feel good about that. What do you think next?
How about Hokey Pokey?
Oh, Hokey Pokey. What was Mel telling us about Hokey Pokey? She said something about making it, right? This is, so it's a Hokey Pokey is a milk chocolate bar.
About the chicken salt.
Do we want to take a taste of it?
No, I think we should wait and try it on fries and just individually.
Yeah.
I feel like
we also
this
got
one
this
we'll
thing.
do the right way.
Yeah. This is called chicken salt. Melanie and I have talked about this before, and the idea of it just seemed weird to me. It's a savory salt-based seasoning with a subtle chicken flavor. Sprinkle on your roasted or barbecue chicken. That seems redundant to sprinkle a chicken flavored salt on chicken.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little weird. It's like when you like putting chicken in your eggs, which is always gross. I'm like, don't do that.
It's like the mother and child reunion thing. Yeah. But what Melanie said is that it's apparently really good on French fries. So that's what we should use it on. So we'll try that with French fries. Maybe next week we'll try to remember that to eat with our French fries. But for now, the Hokey Pokey, which is apparently a treasure of New Zealand. It's a chocolate bar made by Whittaker's. It's a
cool little package. It looks old school too.
Yeah, it really does. It's super cute. I love the packaging, and it says Whittaker's in the middle of the chocolate bar.
Oh, I like this because it says mini. I bet the full one is in the same cool package.
Oh, that'd be a good Christmas present. All right, let's try it.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Is that toffee bits?
I feel like it's like what's in Nestle Crunch?
No rice?
Like rice or something like that?
No, I think it's toffee.
Is it? I'm not sure.
I wrote the ingredient.
The ingredients tell us nothing. But I'm not a big
Pokey pieces.
Oh, well, that's helpful.
Oh, that's what it was. She was telling us Hokey Pokey. She makes it. It's some kind of candy.
Yeah. So maybe it is like toffee. No. I'm not a big chocolate person, but this is pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm into that. So far, the sweets are winning.
Oh, wait. Was Hokey Pokey made with that weird syrup she was trying to explain to us?
Oh, that's right. And if anyone can explain this to us, the syrup was called... I can't remember. Some sort of strange syrup that she had. And then when she tried to explain it to us, she was like, it's like this kind of syrup. And we don't have that either.
Yeah.
It was really a lost cause. So if anyone knows what Hokey Pokey is made out of and can describe what this syrup is that you use, we would be most grateful.
We like it.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Seal of approval. I would like to make it. We can try cooking it up ourselves. Should we try the Freddo?
Yeah, that's what I had in my hand.
It's got a cute picture of a frog on it. It's called a Freddo. It's a Cadbury dairy milk product. And I generally am for Cadbury. So we can try that. Is it? And it's shaped like a frog.
Aww. I think mine was sitting too close to the computer. Looks a little melty.
Yeah, he's a nice little frog guy here.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
All right, let's do it. I like it. On the I was like, it looks like it's backwards, the writing, but it's not. All right. Feels very simple after eating the Hokey Pokey.
Mm-hmm. It's good chocolate.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. The quality is really good. Very
creamy.
Yeah. This isn't like that plasticky chocolate bar you get to put in your s'mores, your Hershey bar or whatever. This is real stuff. They're not messing around.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm for that. Maybe I would like milk chocolate more if we lived where there was better chocolate.
Maybe you could just buy better chocolate. I'm sure we have good chocolate. You just don't.
Well, that's true. I mean, but like your candy, like your thing that you get at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Let's do the big cookie.
Triple chunk cookie. This little adorable guy. Look at this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute. Oh, look at the back of him. He's got a rainbow eye. Oh my gosh, look at this. How cute. Our first test batch of cookies was baked in founder Michael Mayall's mom's kitchen.
Oh, cute.
Friends couldn't get enough of them. We had to get serious. Desperate for a bigger kitchen, we convinced a bakery to let us in after hours, and we spent every night baking. I was glad when we finally got our own place. We could all get some sleep. Ooh,
oh, look at this.
Try hot. Remove the wrapper and heat for 20 to 25 seconds.
I don't have a microwave in this room with me, so I'm going to do it this way, but maybe when I eat the rest of it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yeah. Looks like a good chunk. All right. It's nice.
You know what Mel pointed out to me, because I made cookies when I was at home, and I had them in the car. So I'm like, oh, do you want a cookie when you're getting out at Universal? And she's like, your cookies are so weird here. They're soft. They're supposed to be hard.
That's so funny.
I don't know if I should be offended by that.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing I was going to say, is I was like, the texture of this is weird.
It's like almost cake-ish, but not quite cake-ish.
Yeah, it's very sturdy. I'm going to eat this because this one has a chunk in it. It's a sturdy cookie.
It is sturdy.
Again, good chocolate.
Chocolate in mine.
Yeah, I pulled out a chunk there. That was pretty delightful. Justin Cavender says, all I need are Kit Kats and Rolos.
Oh, Rolos.
Rolos are where it's at, bruh.
Yes. When I was in high school, my friend Caitlin's mom used to make Rolo cookies, and she'd make this like chocolate dough, and she'd put a Rolo in the middle and then bake them, and then she'd like sprinkle sugar on top when they came out, and so it was like a melted Rolo in the middle.
Oh my goodness.
They were
That's like a hardcore version of the Hershey's Kiss cookies.
Like way better. Because it was baked in the middle, so she didn't just stick it on top.
Oh.
They stuck it inside so that it melted into the inside and flattened out.
That sounds magical. I am definitely 100% for that.
All right.
So this is the thing I've been looking forward to. Hopefully it's going to be good. I don't know. This is the...
It tastes like Shrewsbury.
This is the Cookie Bear Shrewsbury Magic in the Middle cookie.
We have hearts. Corey.
Oh, that's so precious. Wait, here we go. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I love this. Kristen, I heart you.
Oh, I heart you too.
Yeah. And we heart you, Melanie.
We heart you, Melanie. Thank you for these. Well, we don't know if we should thank you yet. I definitely don't thank you for the Marmite, but
it looks like those shortbread cookies.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that's what's about to happen right now.
Yes, let's try it.
Ready?
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
It's almost like a Pop-Tart.
Yeah. It was kind of like a Pop-Tart. It's like the middle stuff is like a sticky. I know we have something kind of like this, and I can't think of what it is to describe it. Yeah,
we do. We do have something like this.
But I feel like I like this cookie better than I like of the thing that we have. So it's got that weird, it's like the middle is like this weird sticky fruit texture in it, which I think, did we determine that it was strawberry? Or is Shrewsbury an actual berry? I'm not sure what this is supposed to be exactly. I mean, it's junk food. It maybe doesn't have to be anything.
It tastes like strawberry.
Yeah, strawberry. It is, according to this. I like this. Contains 25% filling, 2% strawberry. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. I like these a lot, though.
No, yeah, I'm for this. This is a delightful treat.
Mm-hmm.
So, good stuff. Thank you, Melanie. We're fans
for most
of this.
Of these things.
For most of them. No, thank you for Marmite.
Sorry, I'm not on the Marmite train. I am going to make everyone at work eat this tomorrow, though. We're definitely doing that.
Oh, clearly. Yeah, this is absolutely going to be the thing I pull out at parties now and make everybody eat. So maybe thank you for that. Everyone's going to be trying that.
I'll be like, oh, it kind of looks like Nutella. And hopefully they don't notice I say looks instead of taste. Yeah. And then they'll eat it and go, it doesn't taste anything like that. I'm like, well, I didn't say that. I said it looks like Nutella.
Yeah. Hello, listening skills. Or you just put it out next to stuff, like take the cap off.
I should have opened it again.
Oh man. Well, these are some treasures. I feel good about that. If anyone else wants to send us foods from wherever you live, feel free to do so, and we will try them. And hopefully they're better than Marmite, or you can trick us into eating things that are worse than Marmite. I don't know. Notably, we didn't Google any of these first to see what they were going to taste like when we put them in our mouths. So that's on us. But the Shapes crackers, I feel pretty good about.
I do like the Shapes crackers. Shapes crackers, Shrewsbury cookie biscuits. Shrewsbury biscuits.
And I'm looking forward to trying the chicken salt on some fries.
I am too.
Yeah. So with that done,
I want to do that. I might carry it around with me in case I go get fries at lunch.
Yeah, like that seems like you could just keep it in your bag.
Yeah.
And when
that wouldn't be weird if I bring my own salt to a restaurant.
I mean, people bring their own like Tapatio and stuff like that. I have on occasion brought my own Nando's sauce places. So, I think it's totally cool. But so with all of that, we hope you enjoyed that culinary adventure with us. We had a fun time. And thanks for joining us and chatting and listening in and all of that jazz. Hopefully there's gonna be some fun things for next week too. I'm sure there's gonna be some great trailers as soon as we hang up this evening. Yeah. And make sure that you follow us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, YouTube, the Tweety, the Facebook, all those kinds of things. Electric Fan Cave, Electric Feast. Go to the blog on electricfeast.com. If you like us, rate us and review us on iTunes so that other people can find us and listen to us. And you can say that you heard us first because you're the coolest on the planet. And then we'll go to Universal Studios and party like we did with Melanie. It'll be great. Did I miss anything, Kristen?
Don't believe so, Corey.
I'm proud of us. Right now. So, until next week, I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
And I'm Kristen Lotterell.
Peace out, everybody.
Take it easy, kids.
Ha 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 ha.